Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to match 34. This is the final match of the 2018 UL International Crown. 이게 마지막 경기입니다. 이 경기는 한국팀과 미국팀 경기 되겠습니다. Representing Korea, 소연유.
Perfect record so far at the UL International Crown this time around.
Played some stunning shots earlier this morning. Quality irons.
And a good start up the left center of the fairway.
This is a repeat of the match in 2016.
And next, representing the United States, Lexi Thompson.
And it was So-Yeon Yu, Jerry, who beat Lexi at 2-1 2 years ago.
And it could all, as you mentioned earlier, come down to this match. We'll never know how things play out, but what a scene, Tom, what a setting. What a wonderful celebration of women's golf it is here today.
And two players from Spain there in the background, Carlota Segunda and Azahara Munoz.
Rips right there, straight down the middle.
Spain weren't even in the competition, but they did win in 2014. And of course, next week the LPGA plays in this area, so they arrived early and come over to sample the atmosphere.
To get in for par and for the halve to stay one down. So that's two really good positive saves for Michelle Wie in a row now. As you said, Marie Jitanagar, not someone you want to get too far down to.
Now Bronte Law has a chance to win the hole at the first. Bronte Law taking on IK Kim. Let's see if that one's considered. Hands on hips for IK. She looks towards her caddy, as if to say, what do you think? What do you think? Now we go to the fourth, third shot for Sun Hyun Park.
It's a tough pin, right by the hazard on the left side.
That'll be for a four. We saw Michelle Wie scramble and make a half here just a little earlier. And we'll go to the second, where Christy Kerr has this for birdie, Kay.
Tom, she was not pleased with her approach shot. She pushed it right safely into the middle of the green, but it's ended up being a more positive position because Georgia Hall hit it over the green and has short-sided herself and will have a tough up and down. And Christy with a little double breaker here. Well, the first two holes a little off on the speed.
This is to win the hole at the fourth area, Jitanagar.
Yeah, it's going to be slippery at the end here. It's going to run from right to left to start.
Park will have a putt to halve the hole. We'll go back over to the second. Here's Georgia Hall.
Trying to be very particular about where she places this shot. Live clean in place.
And we'll go to six. Pernilla Lindberg missed the green left. Jodie Hewitt-Shadow also missed the green, but her ball just ran down onto the putting surface. Lindberg did not hit a particularly good chip shot, so that is going to be a loss for Lindberg. Jodie Hewitt-Shadow is 2 up in that match through 6 holes. Let's go back to Georgia Hall, third shot at the second.
And Christy, by leaving her birdie putt so far short, has opened the door a little bit for Georgia. And what a first-class shot. That was not that easy.
Different caddy this week, Lauren Taylor on the bag for Georgia Hall. Her usual caddy, Harry Tyrrell, her boyfriend's mother passed away suddenly before this event started. So a lot on the mind of Georgia Hall this week. Sun Hyun Park to halve the hole.
Want to move Jack.
That is terrific for Sun Hyun Park. Back to the first, and So Yeon Yu second. Terrific scene, and I think UL and the LPGA, they had a sense that this was going to happen when they decided to bring the UL crown to Korea, and it has worked out on a Sunday afternoon here with beautiful weather and excitement at every turn.
Have it bounce out? I mean, I think it will bounce out, even with normal height. Yeah, be a nice start point.
There's no doubt there were a few nervous moments earlier in the week looking at the weather forecast with that radar, the typhoon heading this way, but it has passed by. Good decisions to play a lot of golf on Friday, and now we are treated to this. Lexi's second at the first.
Well, you could hear from the caddy talk that they were expecting that to release a little bit more, and it just didn't get any kind of forward motion at all.
Now Georgia Hall has this to win the hole. So Christy Kerr with a mistake there, and it allows Georgia Hall to take a one-up lead. That could be important because the USA are battling against Korea to win the crown. England still have a chance. They're going to have to gain a few more points if they're going to be victorious come the end of the week. It's the final day, the final session of this international team competition.
Sun Hyun Park has found the green on the par 3 fifth hole. Area's response now. Certainly had the line.
Back over to the first, Lexi Thompson for a birdie. Mario Jutanagan has already played here at the 6th. Michelle Wee second. And that's all awkward, just short of the bunker. So Yeon Yu for birdie at the opening hole. And it's to win the hole. That is the start that those fans are looking for. One up over Lexi Thompson. And it is a good time to welcome in Heather Daly-Donoprio, the Chief Communications and Tour Operations Officer of the LPGA Tour, as we watch Madeline Saxton trying to win the hole here at the fort. I am sure, Heather, you are delighted with what you're seeing.
Absolutely. I mean, what the fans are seeing on TV is exactly what we envisioned when we decided to bring the UL International crown to Korea.
Saxton just missing out. And Patlam now to win the hole. What have been some of the highlights for you as a businesswoman here?
Well, the city of Incheon's been an incredible host, but just the way the whole tournament's been run, you know, everything from taking BMW courtesy cars, you know, to and from the beautiful Paradise City Hotel, and there's just the support of UL and all of our tournament partners, and obviously this fan support is just absolutely incredible. I mean, look at the crowds out there. I mean, we've got the face paint. This is what the UL International crown is about. It's about players playing for their country and playing for each other. It's not about an individual player. It's about their team. It's about their teammate and playing for their country and hopefully putting that crown on their head and raising their country's flag at the end of the day.
How stressful was it earlier in the week with the weather forecast, and how happy are you with the way that it has turned out?
Yeah, well, I'll admit we were a little tight. You know, when you have that weather coming in at a huge event like this, and you've got a lot of fans who've purchased tickets, which we were able to honor Saturday's first Sunday. But I think we made some good calls. Beautiful day today, and we're going to get all our golf in today and crown a country champion.
So Yeon Yu on the tee at the second.
A very poised looking golf swing of So Yeon Yu, the perfect start. As we head up to 5 and Sung-Hyun Park.
Yeah, standing on that tee, where we were looking from, it looked like she was really close, but actually she's still about 18 feet away. And so many of these putts here on this Jack Nicklaus Golf Club course, they've got double breakers. This one's going to break to the left early, and then at the end it will certainly straighten out, and it may even move a little bit to the right.
Heather, what is it about this format that you think makes it so unique?
Well, when we set out to play the UL International Crown, we wanted a format that was not played anywhere else in golf, and that's what you have. Any nation can compete in the UL International Crown, but I think one of the most unique things is there are no coaches, there are no captains, and these 4 players on each team, they have to figure out the pairings themselves. They have to figure out the order themselves, and there's a lot of strategy involved, particularly in the playoffs, with 14 being the playoff hole. A lot of players were talking strategy yesterday for today.
Yeah, another good feature, I think, is that no one actually sits out when points are up for grabs. Obviously, the wildcard playoff a little bit different, but everyone's involved. Everyone is 25% of that team, which I think is a good way to go forward and keep everyone involved down to those final moments today.
Absolutely.
This to win the hole for Area. Just shies by. It really is a true reflection, I think, of where the LPGA has been growing to in terms of being so international.
Yeah, this is a similar spot to where Pernilla Lindberg was earlier, and you saw how far away she ended up, and now we still has some work to do to try and force a half. And there are 2 par putts remaining. Moria's about half the distance, I think. And Michelle Wee will be first to go. And you can see the marker there, just Moria Jutanagan's about halfway down. So whilst they figure that out, we'll go to 5.
Well, just something to think about left for Sung-Hyun Park. And that match stays all square. It's really going to be one to watch. Being treated to number 1 and number 2, going head to head. What are the chances?
Now Michelle Wee to put some pressure on Jutanagan. What can we expect in the future for the UL Crown? Can you give us any insights yet?
Oh, well, we've got a few things up our sleeves, and right now we're looking at venues for 2020 and beyond, and you know, we want to add more international to the UL International Crown, so we want to take this around the world.
Michelle Wee just missing out. That'll give Moria Jutanagan a great chance to go 2 up in the match. Susanna Nordqvist second at the 4th. That's a pretty good shot there from Nordqvist. She's playing Inji Chun. Chun is 1 up so far. There might be some people, Heather, who would petition to have it in Korea every single time, considering these crowds.
Yeah, after the sex we have this week, it sure can. But I'm sure any team wants to play this in their home country, so we'll see who gets that honor next.
Well, Christy Kerr had that luxury last time around with the first 2 editions, as we see her here on the 3rd.
91 yards for Christy. Hitting first her opponent, Georgia Hall, has a 40-yard shot further up and to the left-hand side of this fairway. Christy laid back with an iron to enable her to have a more full shot in. This plane downwind. Oh, dialed that one in nicely.
Stopped on a dime.
Ori Jutanagan for par at the 6th. Is to win the hole. Oh, she's left it short. Wow, what an opportunity missed there. Back to the 4th, Chan's 2nd. Saw the approach of Nordqvist. And that's going to be the first attempt there. Back to the 2nd, and So Yeon-yu. Second shot.
114 yards. Little breeze helping right here. Just a soft wedge. Tricky hole location. It's a bit cautious, but not bad.
And now Lexi.
Just 2 yards closer is Lexi. 112.
Any predictions, Heather, for the rest of the day?
We've got some great matches out there. There's not a bad match out on that golf course right now, and the whole tournament can come down to this match right here. So Yeon-yu and Lexi Thompson. And I don't know if that was by design. I don't know if the Americans knew that the Team Korea was going to put So Yeon out last, but maybe that's why they put Lexi up against her.
Heather, thank you so much for coming in. I know you've got a busy afternoon running this event, but we will be very much enjoying watching it play out. Heather Daly-Donofrio, Chief Communications and Tour Operations Officer for the LPGA Tour. I'm going to take a quick break. Peter Donegan will be heading in to talk us through the coverage from Korea.
Christy Kerr needs to make this birdie putt at the 3rd, or she is going to go 2 down to Georgia Hall. Wow. So she loses the 2nd hole with a bogey, and then makes par on the par 5 and loses to a birdie. Georgia Hall, 2 up. All the Americans are trailing.
Tricky read. I was reading left to right most of the way.
Jess Corder at 5 with a birdie chance to win the hole. Not exactly what the US was hoping for early on, as we head now to our last match, and So Yeon at the 2nd.
This putt turning a little left. She'll give Lexi a great read. But see if she can start off with 2 in a row.
For birdie to win the hole for Sherman Santiwiwatanapong. To go 2 up. She's done it. What an incredible performance already this young woman is putting together.
Madeline Sagstrom for her par for a half. Oh. So that match goes back to all square. Sagstrom v. Corder. And that would be, as it stands at the moment, a welcome point for the United States. Speaking of the States, here's one of their superstars, the 23-year-old, the world number 5, Lexi Thompson at the 2nd.
Just to try and square the match, maybe just a right center putt. Lexi's the last singles match people remember from last year's Solheim Cup has been termed by many the match of the century against Anna Nordqvist, where she started off terribly and then played some of the greatest golf between the two of them that I'd seen. Well, that never turns. Never got there either.
Seeing some evidence of some singles nerves out there.
Usually the hardest hole on the golf course, but playing downwind, more bark than bite at the moment. This hole, 2 good drives. Sang-Hoon Park, 177 yards.
This then for a half at the 2nd.
Not much to it. Ball didn't do a thing as it rolled past the hole. Should be dead straight.
sure at some stage their minds will cast back to 2 years ago when they played in the singles. So-Yeon emerging victorious that day, 2-1 over Lexi.
Sometimes when you're playing downwind, your 3-wood goes as far as your driver. Certainly the case here for Aria. She had a big tee shot, only 160 yards left.
She hates it. Don't know why.
Classic area. She leads you astray. Never trust her body language. Was all of 9 feet off target.
When you're that good, I suppose that's a mishit. 9 or 10 feet off the target. That's her expectations.
Up to the 5th. Hole tucked in that back left section. We've seen it before.
28 paces on today, the furthest pin that we've seen at 5, as we've been discussing. What we'll do throughout the day is we'll give you a little predictor. Give you the points that you see on the right-hand side, plus the way the matches stand at present, to see how things are stacking up live.
Now that always looks a lot closer from the tee. So some enthusiastic crowds. It's going to lengthen as In-Ji Chun starts to walk up to her golf ball. ...146 yards really. With the wind helping off the left, probably a solid 9-iron yardage for most of the players today.
And we've spoken about the condition of the golf course, Ali, and the weather event that happened yesterday. And whilst we're so pleased to be playing this brilliant competition in sunshine, so many people around the region affected by Typhoon Kongray, and our thoughts are with them, with the damage and destruction that it caused. It's hard to imagine that it was 24 hours ago that it was going through here. Not such a bad result. She'll be thinking 3 and worse from there. So let's have a look and see how this is shaking down. Of course, the main game is Korea and the United States with 2 points separating them. Korea up in a couple of matches, all square in the other 2. The States having a bit of a battle early on in the singles at the UL International Crown. Aria Jutanagan has just missed her birdie putt to win the hole at 6. Here's big sister at the 7th, the par 5. Right at it. Thailand going very well at the moment.
Solid. So all square. Still a match between the 2 best players in the women's game.
If they were to stop it now, Ali, Korea would have 16 points, England 13 points, Thailand 11, USA 9. So it's not been the start they wanted.
And Korea would set a new record for the amount of points if it stays this way. Leaning left. That is heart-in-mouth territory for Michelle Wee. Just tugged that one a little bit off the club face.
All right, let's go ahead to 8. And to halve the hole, this is England's Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff in her match against Pernilla Lindberg, going the way of England up until then. So that brings it back to 1. The ANA Inspiration champion, Pernilla Lindberg, from earlier this year, looking a bit brighter, to 5.
from long range. And it's yielded plenty of birdies throughout the first few days. So that was just a couple of moments ago. Nordqvist, not surprising, putter in hand for her, but work yet to do.
They're the sort of putts that will get your full attention on the final day of a major international tournament. Jess Corder's 2nd to 6. One of the most difficult holes on the golf course all week. Long par 4. And we haven't seen too many hit it within the 6 feet circle of friendship. Down breeze, taking a little bit off the 446 yards, but still plenty there. Days like these are made for Christy Kerr.
She's probably the one player that no one wants to play just because of her nature out on the golf course, a real bulldog. But as we see, Lexi Thompson, another player maybe that no one wants to take on, Jerry.
Yeah, and understandably so. A chance to get home into 237 front, 252 hole. Trying to get something up on the right front of the green, and that was hit solidly. So Yanu's already laid up in good shape.
Hole location's 21 paces on there, so she's got around 70 feet remaining. Let's jump ahead to the 7th.
Soft hand needed for this one. Slide underneath it. And that was pretty well done. Looked like a bit of an awkward lie.
Georgia Hall with a birdie putt to win the hole and to go 3 up.
She had a beautiful pitching wedge that was right on the flagstick, just 10 feet short. No, and you don't see her leave putts like that short too often.
To halve the hole with threes. Oh, birdies, I should say.
Look at Korea 5, England 4. England is 1 up.
We move ahead to the 7th and the battle between Moria Jatanagarn and Michelle Wee, which currently stands the way of the Thai player. This to go 2 up on what has been an outstanding start from Thailand, making it through from the wildcard playoff in dramatic fashion earlier. And there's a bit of tentative stuff going on out there. The final day nerves are beginning just to kick in a little bit, with all of the importance that hangs on every shot, and in particular on the greens. So not only is it a matter of controlling your golf swing, it's a matter of controlling your mind on a day like this. Easier said than done.
What can you squeeze out of a match like that? That's going to be the key for Michelle Wee. You know that she's probably going to make a couple of birdies herself in the next 10 or so holes, but you can't afford to give away any on these par 5s. This to halve the hole. Well saved.
That means then, as they stand at the moment, the United States with 2 points, with a couple of matches all square at this stage, and that is very important with the way that the Koreans are going early on. Korea with a 2-point lead at the start of the day, nerves beginning to show in the singles at the Crown. Now here's an outside chance of pressing even further. Jess Corder, long-range birdie putt at the 6th. This for the win and to go into the lead in the match.
Down the slope, off the right, should keep rolling.
Things are starting to turn for the USA right now. Michelle Wee gets herself a point as it stands, and then Christy Kerr's tee shot, and then that bomb from Jess. And now things are starting to go the way they wanted them to. 2018 UL International Crown, our final match. Third shot at the par 5 third for Lexi Thompson.
Severe uphill live at play and a pitch and run. Pretty nice touch right there, Peter.
What an atmosphere, Jerry. What a day we have. And you can see from Lexi's shirt, and as Kay said before, look at the tops of the trees as well. The wind's starting to freshen.
182 yards to the pin on 8 today, tucked in that back left section. That needs to come down. She paid her membership fees with that members bounce.
Well, they must have just come into this match thinking, well, perhaps it might be our day after what happened. They're going to need something monumental. Here's Sayon at the third for birdie.
Pretty straight looking putt. Good stroke right in the middle.
Using one of her very high lofted woods, most likely her 11 wood in the bag. She's hit it every day. And that seemed to come up a little bit heavy.
She's been flexing that wrist a fair bit. She's having some difficulties with it. So we've already seen Soyeon make her birdie. Here's the chance for Lexi to match it.
Putt that doesn't look like it does much. This is a pretty basic putt, all things considered, except the situation. Maybe just right of center. See if she stays down through the putt, holds the finish. Normally when she does that, she makes a few, and she made a lot in matches 2 and 3 this week.
The arm wrestle continues. Soyeon, the world number 3, stays 1 up.
The ball of Inji Chun is going to stay at least halfway up the slope there. That's probably a bit of a help in her direction on the 6th hole.
Now the putting action at 5. You can see Georgia Hall's marker. Kay Cockrell can bring us up to date as Christy Kerr lines up her birdie putt to win.
From the tee, I thought that this would be an easier birdie putt, but because she's just on the backside of a little downhill slope, this is going to have a decent amount of left to right the entire putt. So that type of putt just requires so much perfection, matching up the speed and break. And Christy really hasn't felt it quite yet with her putter, but you know that putter can come alive, massively alive at any moment.
A chance then to eat into Georgia's advantage. That helps. Excellent too from the 40-year-old. I know you shouldn't say a lady's age, but she told us yesterday that she's turning 41. So I'm not giving away any secrets.
We actually have a couple of people turning a year older next week. Michelle Wee, another one, so 2 from that team. Sung Hyun Park on 7.
Love the fact that a theatre, just fantastic. All the par 5s reachable in 2. 212 yards with the grass line against her. What a shot.
It's just sat down a little bit and she's got water looming large, but that is a couple of massive blows from the world number 1. So are things starting to change a little bit for the United States after a slow start? Christy Kerr has been able to eat into the lead of Georgia Hall. Soyeon Yu 1 up against Lexi Thompson. Singles action at the UL International Crown on this beautiful Sunday. There's Bronte Law to win the hole at the 4th. Oh, she was walking after it to pick it up. That to go 2 up. She can scarcely believe it.
So Inji Chun has picked up. So this is a must-make for Anna Nordqvist if she wants to avoid going 2 down to one of South Korea's finest.
No wins on tour this year so far for Anna. Her best has been tied for third at the Thornbury LPGA. That's on the LPGA Tour. And of course, she is a two-time major champion. Great record. Great competitor. Just what you need on a day like this. That's a pretty handy up and down from area. She makes her birdie. Sung Hyun's got the opportunity of matching it.
That was a big putt.
Yeah.
Especially given there's just 3 feet left for birdie here for Park.
I think she provided us, area, with one of the moments of the week a couple of days ago, and it wasn't even a golf shot she hit. It was her reaction when her sister chipped in. It was just beautiful.
It was great. The support between them is probably unmatched, really.
They're playing very slowly, guys. The group behind are already waiting on the fairway, but you hear a huge roar when this one goes in, or if it goes in.
And it goes on to halve the hole. They match birdies, they match strides. They're all square through 7. Let's move to the beautiful 4th hole where Jerry Foltz is looking at a couple of great golfers and a beautiful setting.
But still going to hurt.
There aren't any unattractive holes out here. Lexi with
He's got target.
110 yards out of the rough. Tough to get a lot of spin.
No cameras, please.
It's a decent lie, but tough to get a lot of spin. The saving grace is she's playing back into a light breeze, which will help. But the left side of the screen is only 17 paces deep from bunker to back edge. Gap wedge for Lexi, and that just fluttered out of there. Not going to get there.
Hey, what's up with this rough?
Second shot for Georgia Hall.
176 yards off a little downhill lie. Going with a little more loft because of that downhill lie. That lie will de-loft it, taking it to the center of the green.
And that one just rolls back down.
Been a popular spot in that back corner at 6 all week. So-Yeon at 4.
Probably doesn't need to get too aggressive here with Lexi in trouble. Going to struggle to make par. This from right at the same yardage. Right about 110. Wind's got it a little bit. Wow, didn't expect that.
Can you see, Jerry, is it still dry? We'll have to check on that. Let's join Christy Kerr at the 6th with her second.
She crushed a drive, got it all the way down to a nice flat spot. That was a 7-iron. She joked coming down this fairway, I don't think I'll have to hit 3-wood into the screen today.
Down breeze today, thankfully. Sun shining. Just a momentary cloud might be hanging over So-Yeon Yu, though. We'll need to find out what's happened there at 4, whether she's managed to stay dry. She's one up. Lexi's still got her issues. So everybody's busy. Everybody's in a hurry. They want to get around the golf course as quickly as possible to watch the best in the world in action at the UL International Crown. It's a bit of drama going on here at the 4th hole. Lexi Thompson finds herself in the trap. Is So-Yeon's ball dry, Jerry?
No, it's wet. There was some serious controversy as to where it last crossed with Pete Bliss, LPGA officials, the match referee, telling Lexi and her caddy, who were convinced it never crossed, that if without being clearly seen, you have to take the player's word for it. So she'll be dropping it up there hole high. Tough bunker shot for Lexi out of that soft sand. And I don't think she's happy at all about the decision to let So-Yeon Yu drop up there.
So this has to go in for In-Kyung Kim. Monty Law hitting that majestic tee shot. And that's not going to get it done. It's going to be an interesting matchup, this one. They're very, very similar in regards to stats, almost identical in greens and regulation. Bronte just 11 yards longer off the tee. That's about it.
All right, Jerry, bring us up to date with what's going on with So-Yeon.
So-Yeon indeed was granted the opportunity, the right to drop it up here where she thinks it last crossed her and her caddy. I don't imagine So-Yeon's one to push the envelope on the rules in that regard. She has to be pretty well convinced in her mind that it did cross up here. And without clear evidence otherwise, that's what the rules official has to do. She'll be playing her fourth.
And while she's sorting that out, let's go ahead to 6.
Christy Kerr from hole high left, just off the putting surface. Georgia Hall paid close attention to that as her putt is on a similar line.
Haven't seen a lot of 3s on the card at 6 this week. Back to 4.
So-Yeon used fourth shot from some really sticky rough. If it were a decent, good lie, it's not a hard shot at all. But she dropped it twice, and it was able to place it where it landed the second time. So it's a pretty decent lie.
That distance remaining then for a 5. So this could turn out to be very important. If they stopped all the matches now, this is what it would look like. England and Thailand have made the moves. The United States a little bit better off than when we last looked at it, and Sweden in all sorts of trouble. But Korea in command at the moment, but a lot of that will depend on what happens with So-Yeon Yu at 4 to 6.
Georgia Hall from just inside 30 feet, hole high left. She thought that would be a little bit faster, and they're going to have the hole with pars.
For par to halve the hole for Pernilla Lindberg, and she's not going to do it. So she moves 2 down against Jodie Ewart Shadoff.
She's a pretty happy-go-lucky character most of the time. Not now. Jess Corder's 1 up in her match against Madeline Sagström of Sweden. The opportunity to go 2 up. We saw the points differential between Korea and the United States as it stands at the moment, so everything like this is of huge importance.
Lexi for par.
To win the hole and square the match.
Well, as it turns out, any controversy, any angst doesn't really matter with the result. We just heard a roar a moment ago. This might be the reason why. This was just a few seconds ago at 8. Well, you would have heard that roar at Sky 72 Golf Club where they're playing next week, and that's about a half-hour car trip away. That is big. Sunghyun Park through 8 holes gets herself into the driver's seat now against Arya Jutanagan. Korea certainly overall in the driver's seat on the final day.
Lexi Thompson now with the honor. They're on the tee at the par 3 5th hole. This match all square. Pretty. Every single match right now is pretty tight. Jessica Korda on the tee at the par 3 8th. She is 1 up. No match is there a margin bigger than 2 up.
Wynn's got this going, some 20 feet right of the hole.
Commercial result for Soyeon.
Moria still with a birdie putt to come. Michelle Wie to make the number 3 first. Lives and dies by playing for her country.
Madeline Sagstrom with 182 in front of her. This at the 8th. She's 1 down in her match against Jess Corder. Outside chance of the birdie 2.
Needs to go and ask Sun Hyun Park how to hit that putt. So a chance now for Moria Jitanagarn to get to 2 up if this should drop in. Can't be done. So the margin remains at 1.
United States 4, Thailand 4, Thailand 1 up.
Thailand needed everything to go right because they started with 5 points going into the singles and they've got 6 of a possible 8 points at the moment. It's a long way from there though because Korea with 10, still with the advantage over the United States and England in the singles at the UL International Crown in South Korea. Hope you're enjoying our final round coverage, the final stanza of the UL International Crown. Jess Corder 1 up in her match against Madeline Sagstrom of Sweden. Madeline's also got a birdie putt. Here's Jess's attempt. Area at 9.
From the left half of the fairway, she's got to take this hazard on.
Hole location's 11 paces on there, so she's got all of 40 feet in front of her as Lexi has a look at a birdie.
Down the hill, sliding a little left.
Yeah, Sun Hyun Park hit a beautiful tee shot to the right side of the fairway, which means she's got a much better angle in. She doesn't have to contend with that water hazard. The wind is picking up in strength.
It's the roar heard around Korea, and it's following Sun Hyun Park around today. Soyeon Yu to halve the hole from only about 2 feet. She does, as she does. Kate Burton rejoins me in the commentary box. Kate, I notice you perched yourself on the edge of your seat, so that means you're like everybody else.
I did go out and have a look at the golf, and it was hard to see, certainly the Korea matches, to get close. 8 deep it is with those crowds out there, and it is very close. Korea have that 2-point advantage going in to these all-important singles, but with the matches not much in it at the moment, it really is going to be a very close-fought battle. And Pete, you're going to find that Thailand could actually be helping Korea if they beat the USA.
Very much so.
Indirectly, without realising it, most probably.
All sorts of permutations going on, and we'll try and keep you abreast of those. But at the moment, Korea's got 5 points So as it stands there at 15, which means that the USA would have to get 7 points to even tie with them. Ng on the tee at 8, 182 yards. Looks a little left. And a little long. The battle of the fan clubs, as you've been talking about today, Kate, with Inji and Sung Hyun.
Yes, Inji with the most in her fan club, the Flying Dumbos, over 9,000 of them. You do feel that at least half of those are around this 8th tee.
Anna Nordqvist came in with a perfect record, just the one singles appearance at the UL International Crown, and she won that going in here. She's got a job in front of her to do that today. Sweden looks to be really about the only nation right at the moment that you can confidently rule out. Very tidy from Anna Nordqvist, birdie putt coming.
Sun Hyun Park is in close with a birdie, so area now from off the front of the green. She is so good. Reigning US Open champion, there really aren't many weaknesses in her game.
Here's Christie at the 7th.
Laid up with 5-iron, has 83 yards to the hole. Her opponent played a more aggressive shot and will have inside 40 yards for her 3rd. Wow, that's what you want to do when you hit first.
She's fabulous, eh? Refuses to surrender to a generation half her age, continually battles away.
What about these galleries, Dom? They're almost lining the length of 9.
And you should see behind the green, there are thousands of people here too. It's just fantastic. And the weather is absolutely glorious. Now, Aria's putts have already been given. She had about 2.5 feet, so it was a generous give. Sun Hyun Park, just getting ready. And it's going to move a little bit from her left. And it's slightly uphill, so she can be a little aggressive with it. She held a fantastic putt on the previous green. It had 1.5 feet, 2 feet of break over one level into another. So she's obviously quite confident with this club in her hands. Boy, if this goes in, get ready for a big roar.
Yeah, for those of you watching around the world, you might want to knock your volume level down at about 2. Just in case.
It doesn't look too bad, you know. Just ran out of steam.
She looks such a different player to the one we saw in the morning session 2 days ago, where she was battling against herself. She really has that presence of the world #1 out there today.
And that leaderboard by 9, giving all the fans the projected look as well. Now, Hall at the 7th.
Christy Kerr's birdie putt has been conceded. This from inside 40 yards.
The veteran does it, and the youngster answers in kind.
Gimme, gimme. Shadow playing very well indeed. Here she is, 2nd to the 10th. Playing Pernilla Lindberg.
And Pernilla is a bit hot under the collar. We certainly saw that before. Have a look at this for a difficult shot coming from a hanging lie for Inji Chun, hanging up there on the bank behind the 8th. All appears to be sitting down a little bit. All in all, not an easy thing to get this dead. There's always going to be a danger that if she just landed it in that first cut or on the apron, that it was going to propel it forward.
And anything else would have been hanging in that rough as well. It was a 9 impossible shot. Very hard to hit high as well with that downslope in the rough. Chance for Nordqvist then. Oh, what kind of shot does So-Yeon Yu face, Jerry?
Yeah, a little bit of a downhill lie. Hole playing much shorter today. T moved up a bit and playing downwind than we saw earlier in the week when so many players were hitting a wood into the screen. So-Yeon 183 to the hole, but her longest iron in the bag is a 6-iron. Has 3 woods and 2 hybrids, so going with one of the hybrids here. Tucked back right hole location. Not the easiest to get at.
Jerry, we've been looking forward to this moment ever since it was announced that this tournament is coming to South Korea, and now you're down on the fairway just soaking it all in. It's lived up to expectations.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it, I think, as much as anybody, absent perhaps the players, because a lot of our Golf Channel team dedicates a lot of their careers to covering the LPGA, and it's really nice to see the celebration that this is as these players compete for something that is so important to them in its very early stages, the UL International Crown.
Is it going to try? You thought there might be slope enough for that to trickle back down onto the green. So not easy for So-Yeon.
Been one of the more popular spots on the golf course over the back there at 6.
Tough hole 6.
Yeah.
And the toughest on the front 9.
At least they've got the breeze at their backs today. But then again, that makes it tough to stop.
She's unbeaten, So-Yeon Yu, in singles in the UL International Crown, whereas Lexi looking for her first win in the UL International Crown singles showdown.
So hole make quite a bit easier when you hit the tee ball like Lexi's doing. She's only got a 9-iron, and it'll be a soft 9-iron from 147 yards. She's just a little left of the hole.
Freshening breeze, difficult golf course, and the pressure of the moment all adding up to what is going to be an enthralling afternoon. Still, the ball is in the court of Korea. They are in the box seat as it stands at present with 5 points in their keeping, but there's a long way to go before anyone can lift the crown at the end of this day.
Lexi's birdie putt here to win the hole is a tough one to judge. It's a little downhill, turning slightly left halfway there, but it's straight back into a pretty good breeze. Easy to leave that short. And that is not going to be conceded either. Or maybe it is.
United States 4, the match remains.
Everybody's in a very generous mood out there today with the concessions. Let's jump ahead to 9.
Early opportunity for Jessica Korda. 1 up would be very nice to make the turn. 2 up. Oh, and that might well be good enough, and it is to win the hole. Sagstrom went into the water off the tee. And so the US go to the 10th, 2 up. Solheim Cup player, 5-time winner on the LPGA Tour, a winner this year in Thailand, and she is looking good. Very strong.
US in a position to get 3 points on the golf course at the moment. That is not going to be enough, and Christy Kerr has a predicament on her hands.
She does, although Georgia does not have an easy up and down either, even though she's closer to the hole. Christy, fortunate that she didn't hit anybody, because that was a pretty big pull. And she's also gotten lucky that the lie is not terrible. It's in some longer grass, but it's kind of sitting up. She has a bit of room, but she's going to have to pull off the nice high flop shot. Caught it heavy. Not what she had envisioned.
We'll come back and see how Georgia Hall handles her situation in a moment. Let's move ahead to 10 and see whether Michelle Wee can get back to all square. This putt for birdie to win the hole. United States at the moment, as we said, Kate, with 3 points, and that's not going to be enough. They need to get it going, and they need to get it going quickly.
Especially starting 2 points behind Korea going into these singles.
I guess she's probably had most sorts of birthday presents over the years. I don't know whether she's ever had a crown for a birthday present, but it would come just a few days ahead of her birthday next Thursday.
Yeah, surprisingly, she didn't play 2 years ago when the US last lifted this tournament. These 4 individual crowns, a 3rd edition of this magnificent idea in the LPGA Tour. IK Kim, birdie chance, playing against Bronte Law, who also has a birdie opportunity. Kim finds herself 2 down against a highly competitive match play specialist in Bronte Law.
No concession of Michelle's putt, so she's going to have to do it from 2 feet.
Yeah.
And that's why it wasn't conceded.
United States 5, Thailand 4, Thailand 2 up.
The Thais having a very good singles competition, 2 up, 8 to play.
Well, Kerr came up very short, so over to Georgia Hall. And Kay's with this match, and it's just a great illustration of how difficult it can be on the immediate surrounds.
Well, no doubt, that was just a terrible lie that Georgia Hall faced, and she hit it a little thinly. Christie lies 7 feet from the hole. So Georgia with an opportunity to win with a par 3, but she'll have to hold this 25-footer. We often talk about really how par is irrelevant in match play. It's just a matter of getting the ball in the hole in fewer strokes than your opponent. And that's what you do as a player. You just forget what par is and think about this putt and this putt only.
Phenomenal year for this young lady. One of the moments of her young golfing life in front of her home galleries earlier this year at the British Open. She's picked up a few dollars this year, $832,000, which leaves her only about $18.7 million behind Christie Kerr in career earnings.
And moved into the top 10 as well on the Rolex ranking. Sun Kyung Park at the 10th.
Yeah, they had a long wait on the tee, this pair, but they've hit cracking tee shots. But unfortunately, they're still on a downhill lie. Didn't quite get it far enough where they're going to have a flat lie to play from. And it's awkward because you're playing from a downhill lie to a green that's sitting above you, and everything, once it lands, runs away from you. Now, if you hit it slightly left of this pin, it does feed back into this whole location. So that's really the play. Maybe 10 feet left just to avoid that big drop off on the right side.
And well done by Christie Kerr, knocking it in for her bogey. Georgia Hall remains 1 up through 8. Both players having their difficulties. She just looks so in the zone today, Sun Kyung Park. So Area Jutanagan has her hands full.
Yes, she certainly does have her hands full here. Not only playing the world #1, but a crowd that is obviously right behind her. And just from 1 yard closer, 105 yards, faces almost the identical shot. The wind is hard off the right. And, well, she's going to have to go straight for the pin here. taking a little bit more time than I've seen over the first 9 holes over this shot area. I think she realizes the importance of this. She really can't afford to go 2 down against the best player in the world. Here it comes.
Always a good idea not to read too much into Aria's reaction. She can look away, and sometimes it can be 2 feet away from the objective. So it looks comfortable for the moment for Korea. Get the sense that Christy Kerr and Georgia Hall's match is going to be very pivotal in the outcome of what happens later on today. Don't go away. This is Sunday at the UL International Crown. The cream of women's golf is in Korea this week for the UL International Crown, and here is part of that cream. Michelle Wee, second shot at the 11th. Her opponent, Mori Jutanagan, in trouble, flirting with the hazard.
Wow. What a costly mistake for Michelle Wee. I think it's in that right-hand bunker. It's certainly not on the green, and with her opposition in trouble, not the time to do that. So Yeon-yu having a good look at this.
So Yeon's ball is dry. It is inside the margin of the hazard on the side of about a 30-degree bank in the rough, and she's either going to have to crowd the ball or get her feet very wet to play this shot.
That's going to take some little time to resolve itself, so we might just duck ahead to 10 and see whether Aria can make her birdie. This just a moment ago. And it's great that she is being afforded the respect, even though the Korean gallery want to see their player win. Oh, here we go. School out there today, and that doesn't come as any great shock when it's the #1 and the #2 player in the world according to the Rolex World Rankings. Just brilliant. Punch and counter punch.
Certainly not something we see very often, and I'm not sure how often So Yeon-yu has practiced this type of shot.
Not a shot you'd ever practice. It's going to be about thigh high. Again, it's in some heavy rough. It's only about a 70-yard shot, so you're going to have to use a lofted club, which will just rocket off the club face to the left. So you have to aim mild right.
Even though we're going to expect a miracle.
Good position to. I mean, she's got to be fairly far away. I mean, just a chance to get herself a big mark.
Norquist has a bogey putt. She can't afford many of those. Oh, and that has resulted in a loss for Anna Norquist, who now finds herself 3 down.
And that is not good news for the United States, but it's excellent news for Korea. Mori Jutanagan put her ball in the hazard with a second shot at the 11th, so here's her 4th. Michelle Wee's ball, we think, is in the trap just on the right-hand side over Mo's right-hand shoulder. That's all she could do. Hope that she can make 5 and hope that Michelle's got her difficulties in the trap.
Well, the drama continues at the 7th.
Just trying to chop it out short and right of the green and use that massive contour to roll it down on the right side. She's nearly lost her balance twice. That could be a wardrobe malfunction if you happen to lose it again.
Is out, scampering towards Jerry, but remember, Lexi is on the green in 2 on the par 5. There is her ball. And so Lexi certainly has the advantage.
Christy Kerr's second shot to 9, 1 down.
Ball well above her feet. This is an 8-iron. Oh, and she's pulled this, the one place you cannot hit it.
Okay, that is costly with an 8-iron.
There's a bit of water around this golf course and it's getting a workout in the last half hour or so. IK Kim came up short with her tee shot at the 8th. And that is enough to give IK Kim the win on the hole. This is more like a football match. At 9.
Georgia Hall had to back off her shot because the group behind hit into her. Her caddy waved him off. This an 8-iron, like Christy, has the luxury of playing to the right of the flagstick.
Par putt for Michelle Wie. Moria went in the water with her second, so the best that she can manage is a 5. Just to reduce the deficit back down to 1.
At the 10th, Madeline Sagstrom with her second shot. Hole location at 10, 21 on, 9 from the right-hand side, round about there. Excellent approach from the Swede. Maybe the chance of pulling 1 back on Jess Corder, who leads 2 up at the moment. Let's see what the American can do about it. Well, that's what she can do about it. That's not a bad answer. Things are ramping up a notch. So many important matches out there. It's still Korea looking to be the favourites, but the USA on the charge. The match between Georgia Hall and Christy Kerr is so important. Tom Abbott to join you next in South Korea.
We're here at the 11th with Sun Hyung Park playing her approach into 11.
Yes, 136 yards, Kate, and with a wind that is hurting. Took a very safe line off the tee. It's got to go a little bit, has it? Oh, that's pretty good.
It's a swing you could watch all day, Dom.
Yeah, it is, and she's a flusher.
Outside chance of a par for So Yeon Yu.
Lexi's up there 3.5, maybe 4 feet for birdie, so this has to go, or there'll be a concession.
And that is conceded, so Lexi gets 1 back, and that match now all square. Park safely on the green.
She took such an aggressive line off the tee. She only carried the hazard by 3-4 yards. Not sure that was her intended line, but she's perfect.
Well, the trouble is now she'll actually give Sun Hyun Park a really good look at the line as well.
Big hitting in this showdown between these two players in that area, not even with a driver in hand. That run she gets off the driving iron, Karen, certainly helps. And this is the state of play in the Sunday singles. It is going to be extremely close. Korea have the lead by 2.
There is only the one match that is a bit of a runaway. That's In-Ji Chun playing Anna Nordqvist. Everything else is just too close to call, really. Anything could turn around at this point.
Yeah. So, if those standings stay, Korea certainly will reach 14 points. USA really needs to try and enjoy a clean sweep this afternoon if they're going to mount a significant challenge on this Korean team playing on home soil with the help of the home crowd. Very tight. Match between Pornanon-Patnan and Charlie Hull.
It was interesting start to this match. Pornanon really did give Charlie Hull the first 2 holes. She made bogeys, and Charlie Hull just cruised in with pars. And Charlie's kind of been cruising throughout this. Hasn't really done anything spectacular. And putter has really been a bit cold for Charlie this whole day. Tough this morning, and it's just continued into the afternoon.
And this match is absolutely crucial for England if they are to win the UL crown. As you can see the projected scores there, England are 1 point behind, and remember England are up in 3 of their matches. So if Charlie Hull can turn this match around, then it could be the match that sees them win the crown.
Well, that would take England to 15 points. And then see how it plays out between the US and Korea. And here is the US on the 8th.
Lexi Thompson going with 5-iron, a piercing one left of the hole. This is playing a good club into the wind. So she had to get all of that, and she did.
Charlie Hull for the birdie this to win the hole, and this would take the match back to all square, and it would actually have them tied with Korea for the projected win.
I'd like to see a nice decisive stroke here, Tom.
And there it is. So this match for England, assuming that the other matches stay the way they are, makes a difference to the outcome of the crown. And there it is, projected to tie at the top with USA 2 points behind. USA would need to turn that match around with Georgia Hall, and the US are 1 up on Korea. So it's getting exciting here as we go to the 10th, and Anna Nordqvist, she is in the match against In-Ji Chun. She's 3 down. And we'll go to the 12th, and Mori Jutanagan second.
Nicely below the hole.
Okay, Kim. This tee's been moved forward.
Ball was slightly above her feet. Trouble left. No problem for her.
She needs it. She's 1 down to Bronte Law.
And now In-Ji Chun to win the hole. This match at the moment pretty one-sided. This would be to go 4 up. And you don't want to give anybody any points, but assuming that Korea win this one, that will make the calculations a little easier for her team. Cruising along nicely.
Brilliant. Won every four-ball encounter with her partner So Yeon-Yu, and looking to wrap up the singles as well. Big chance to win the hole now for Sun Hyung Park. Oh, and it just grazes the right side of the hole. She would have got a read off Area Jutanagan. Cross down to the 8th and Jerry.
Lexi Thompson will be first to putt for birdie after hitting a very nice shot. So Yeon-Yu hit her strong hybrid that never left the flag, came up about maybe 12 feet short. Lexi's is a little downhill turning right early, then it flattens out.
I mean, you've got to be at least a cup outside. I'm going more to a cup and a half. Yeah.
Stayed out there. And now So Yeon-Yu.
Really nice look here, but I don't see doing a whole lot. I was talking to one of the golf writers who watched her play the 9 holes she had to finish this morning, and then the first 3 here. Steve Eubanks from Global Golf Post said a little over, by his calculation, a little over 200 feet of putts made through 12 holes. So she is really feeling it with the putter, Tom.
Yeah. And this is to win the hole, so this would take the match back to all square and would give Korea the projected edge. So things can change so quickly. They would then have the edge over England.
I mean, there are so many swing matches on here that could just turn things around. The Eri Jutanagan, Sun Hyung Park match, the IK Kim, Guangzhou Wall match, and that's about as close as you could get without it falling in the hole.
That was close, wasn't it? So Thompson remains 1 up in that match through 8 holes. We'll go to the 12th, check in with Michelle Wee. She's playing Moria Jutanagan. Jutanagan is 2 up, still has a birdie putt. Wee is putting first for birdie. So still a putt left to halve the hole. Let's go to 14. Jodie Hewitt Shadoff, her second shot. Jodie is 1 up in the match over Pernilla Lindberg. And a good approach there. Lindberg has never been ahead in this match. And now the putt to halve the hole for Moria Jutanagan at the 12th. Stayed 2 up over Michelle Wee. And if Michelle can battle back into this match, then that puts the USA in a position where they could potentially win the crown. So that means that Moria Jutanagan is now 1 up. Kerr second at 10.
Georgia Hall lies 2 in the front greenside bunker. And that was a good solid shot from 100 yards. Christie with the advantage on this hole.
Two down to Georgia Hall in the third to last match out. Here's how things stand in all the matches. Pretty close apart from In-Ji Chun, who's 5 up over Anna Nordqvist. And look at that Aike Kim Bronte Law match. All square is very important. Jodie Hewitt Shadoff now at the 14th. This is to win the hole. And this would take her 2 up in the match. And we are being told that Pernilla Lindberg made her putt, so that was actually to halve the hole. So Jodie Hewitt Shadoff remains 1 up. The 12th, Sun Hyun Park with her second. Don Boulay is out there for us.
Absolutely smashed her drive here, 30 yards past Aria, only 97 yards left uphill. And some slopes on these greens can help you, others will punish you. She can actually go a little bit to the right of this pin. If she's pin high, it'll roll back towards the hole, but if she's a little bit left, it's going to run off the green.
You can see Eri Jutan's ball also on the green, and both will have fairly tricky birdie putts.
Christy Kerr to win the hole. Yeah. That's important because that means it's just 1 hole between these two, and that could edge the USA not quite into the lead if Christie were to take the lead in that match, but it would deny England the chance to win. Charlie Hull now. Kate?
A rejuvenated Charlie Hull has drawn all square on the 15th against Pornanon Patlam. And this is an extremely important match for England. A win here really could put them in the reckoning. Now we'll drop back to the 11th. Chun. Playing against Anna Nordqvist, who has missed the green. Oh, unless that breeze is proving to be a little bit stiffer. Until this point, In-Ji Chun 4 ahead, seemingly in cruise control, but a minor blip. 9th hole, So-Yeon Yu has been the leading light for South Korea. Continues to glide around this golf course, unbeaten so far this week. Slippery putt, Karen.
Well, then you can see it's got quite a bit of break to it too. She's allowing a lot for this to move to the right. Just have to pick a spot on that hill.
So-Yeon Yu in close.
95 yards there for Lexi, just a sand wedge.
Oh, Jerry, you have got a good seat this afternoon. How good is the golf in that final match? Patlam. So that putt will be conceded, which means that Charlie Hull has a birdie putt to win the hole and move to the 15th, 1 up. One of the few players to still plumb bob.
Also used a bit of aim point as well, so
mixes it up a bit.
Yeah. Gotta go.
Oh, not enough. Had that gone in, would have got England to within 1 point based on the projections.
Match all square.
It is close. Moria has this putt to go 2 up over Michelle Wie. online not going to be enough, but there's still work to do for the Wheezy. It's no tapping. Well, Jerry, you has a very good look at birdie.
Yes, she does. In the middle.
Lexi still has a putt to halve the hole.
Back over at the 12th area, Jutanagan for birdie.
Sang Hyun Park also on this green with a birdie putt. Is this going to be first in? And an easy concession for a putt.
A crucial putt for Michelle Wie. One down to Moria. Needs this putt for the half. It's a good two-putt from a tricky spot above the hole. So, Jutanagan,
3, Thailand
1
3.
up, moving to 14, the drivable par 4. We're looking forward to that hole.
Lexi to halve. No problem at all. 9th hole halved in birdies, and this is one heck of a match.
Sang Hyun Park to win the hole at the 12th. Two good putts there, but they will walk away with a half. Sang Hyun Park still 1 up. As we take a quick break here. Korea projected with a 2-point win right now over England. USA 3 points behind if it stays like this. But we know one thing. It's not going to stay like this.
Well, Aria, she's hit some very poor wedges. Yeah, on 9, 10, 11 and 12, really poor wedges. But this one is straight downwind. All the other ones were into the wind or crosswind, so maybe she can get her wedges back right here.
She's certainly done that. 2 good looks at birdie. It's currently in favour of the Korean side. Park 1 up. This is a feast of golf we are witnessing.
Tier 10, Lexi Thompson.
Beautiful 10th hole. Breeze from the right, in a little bit. She can get it well down into the flat part quite easily.
Yeah, and she's in great shape down there.
Yeah, straight right to her.
Well, let's go down to Christy Kerr at the 11th. Kay, bring us up to speed.
2 good drives by this twosome. Georgia Hall has hit first, successfully hitting a pretty good 6-iron into this par 4. And Christy took a very brave line off the tee, hugging that hazard line, and has a shorter shot in, able to come in with a 7-iron, 152 to the hole. Overall, the wind will push the ball left to right, and the slope of this green tilts a little bit left to right as well.
Yeah, we have seen very few shots go left. They tend to leak to the right.
And that's well placed. 2 good birdie chances for this twosome.
And as is so much the case in match play tournaments, it all comes down to putting.
It's a birdie putt for Bronte Law. IK Kim, you may have heard a roar in the background. That was IK making a birdie here. And this is essential for England because the way the points were structured coming into this singles, England really need to win all of their matches, trailing Korea by 3 points. And this is their head-to-head match with Korea. So Bronte Law to stay all square. What a response.
You think she enjoyed that?
Yeah. And to the 12th, Jessica Korda going along well against Madeline Sagstrom. She's 3 up. Sagstrom will still have a putt.
Korda's just cruising around this golf course. She's striking the ball well, hitting quality shots, and like Ariya Jutanugarn, really good at getting the ball in the hole.
It's going to be a putt-off on this green, Dom.
Certainly is, and it's going to be Sunghun Park to putt first, but Ariya's in close, only, what, 5-6 feet away. Sunghun Park's got actually a makeable putt herself. Uphill, she can be aggressive. It's going to break slightly from the right. I'd have a feeling this match is going to go all the way.
Well, if you're Sunghun Park, you have to assume that Ariya Jutanugarn is going to make her putt.
It's been a while since she's been the first to putt on a green.
There is now an extremely good opportunity that Ariya could seize, which would get this match back to all square.
We saw Michelle Wee drive it over the green here at the 14th. This is where Ariya Jutanugarn drove her tee shot into a short par 4, drivable par 4, almost like a par 3, really. A long one. This was a pretty good scene earlier today in the playoff for Thailand just to get into the singles, where Ariya Jutanugarn chipped in.
And she has plenty of green to use.
Big chance now for Ariya. Best putter on tour this year. This to get back to all square.
And it was one of those things that when you're Sunghun Park, you do have to assume she's going to make it. She is so good from that range. And of the two, if it comes down to putting, my money is on Ariya.
Up ahead, Shadoff. Birdie chance. Lindberg also has a putt. Will be conceded.
Shelby's second shot on the way, so she's going to be a little further away than Jutanugarn, both putting for birdies. And Jutanugarn 1 up in the match. As we go to the 16th, Pornanong Patlam has already played 3 shots. She's had a lot of trouble off the tee, and she's just short of the green. So Charlie Hull with a great opportunity here to win the hole. And these are the projected scores as we speak right now. And if Charlie Hull were to win this hole, it would be tied.
Oh, she's just had another little balk at that. She's very fidgety over this shot.
Didn't take advantage, and you may just see the ball upon on Patlam there, short of the green. And not a great display of golf right now. Let's go to 15.
Big chance for Lindberg to make this putt and square the match against Jodie Yu at Shadoff. Wow, these two encounters with Hull and Shadoff in the first couple of matches for England could prove crucial. Currently all square, and the projection is moving with it.
The projection is moving very quickly.
Michelle Wee for a birdie at the 14th. Maury Jutanagan still has a birdie putt to come. Agony from some of those fans behind the green. So that's going to be a 4. Let's go to 11.
Georgia Hall now looking at a birdie on the 11. She's playing Christy Kerr, 1 up.
Uphill, little left to right break. Wow, and they are trading birdies now. That's the 6th birdie between these two players.
You have a great seat to watch that action unfold, Kay. That is going to be close.
And now Maury Jutanagan to put herself 2 up in this match. When we talk about the USA winning the crown, this will be a match that they'll need to turn around if that is going to happen.
Yeah, if Maury was to make this would put her 2 up with 4 to play. And whenever I was playing match play, 2 up with 4 to play is still very doable. If you're Michelle Wee, you can still think this is, I could do that.
Actually, I have to update you here, Karen. We understand that Michelle Wee may have hit 2 shots from behind the green.
Ah.
Because remember, we saw her drive into the rough behind the hole, and you rightly said it really just depends on the lie. Well, the first one obviously wasn't lying very well, and now Moria has 2 putts to win the hole. I'm surprised Michelle hasn't just moved on.
I am too.
That one's going to be conceded. Oh, she's going to go ahead and tap it in anyway.
Well, I suspect Michelle Wee's probably moved on to the next tee and isn't even watching, because that's typically what a lot of these teams will do. It's you see it a lot at the Solheim Cup. I'm a big believer that you should always hang around by the greens and watch. I'm not a fan of walking off and not paying attention.
Well, that is the true etiquette, and you grew up playing one of the classic old links where etiquette was a key part of learning the game down there on the south coast of England at Royal Cinque Ports. This is how things stand at the UL International Crown. Out to the 10th, and Lexi Thompson birdie to win the hole.
So Yun Yu was only a couple feet further and just burned the edge. So this one turning a little bit right to go to 2 up through 10.
Yeah, great pace on that one. So Lexi, 2 up.
United States 3. United States is now 2 up.
There you go, over So Yun Yu in the final match out.
All square in this match between IK Kim and Bronte Law. IK Kim going with a putter from the fringe.
It's going to be fairly slow going through that first, looks like 7 feet. And sometimes judging the difference in speed from the 2 could be quite tough.
Second shot for Christy Kerr at the 12th, just standing behind the ball here, taking a look at this one, Kay.
Yes, she's hit a good drive. You're just trying to be cognizant, I think, of the wind and the fact that she's playing a very tough competitor. I mean, she cannot afford to make any more mistakes. Not that she's made any lately. Georgia Hall, both of them playing quite well right now. Her opponent is also in the fairway with a second shot upcoming.
It's been a tough par 3 all week. Tee has been moved forward slightly on 17, and Hull is 1 up now in this match.
hole is on the right side, giving the players a chance to attack it. Oh, I don't believe it's in the bunker. I believe that's in some rough.
Bronte Law for birdie to win the hole at the 11th. This for England to get to 1 up. Well, have you seen anybody as fired up as Bronte Law? And the tides are turning for England. The momentum shifts.
I really hope that she gets a European Tour card, becomes a member of the European Tour, and will play Solheim Cup.
Well, based on the projected scores, England have their nose out in front, 14 points to Korea's 13. But these matches, just a hole in it, and an awful lot of golf to be played, but it is bunched up at the top.
What a remarkable turnaround when you think that they were swept by Korea this morning.
Yeah, in a blink of an eye. Now Norquist on 13. 3 down. That's a very good try. It's getting better. She's struggling to keep a lid on In-Ji Chun, but that's one way of doing it.
The 16th hole. Sorry, Jodie, you a shadow for a birdie. And that is a huge momentum boost for England as they look to try and edge ahead of Korea.
little big side there from Jodie.
And now Pernilla Lindberg to halve the hole and remain all square in the match. If this misses, then England have a 2-point lead over Korea. But she didn't miss it. Pernilla Lindberg with a great 3, and all of Korea cheering for Lindberg right now.
Exactly. These players are flying around under the radar, no crowds following them. Second shot for So Yeon Yu, Jerry.
Little bit of an opening here, 141 yards remaining for this second. Lexi Thompson already played her second from the fairway, some 30+ feet short of the hole. So if she can get this all the way back there, she could have a really good chance to cut into that lead.
In the heart of the green, so advantage to you, but she is 2 down. Charlie Hull is on 17, 1 up, but looks like she's in a little bit of trouble. Not an easy lie. Playing against Pornan on Patlam. Face right open.
Well, it's one of those situations where you'd much rather be in the bunker. I don't think she could have been done much better than that.
To the 12th, Kerr's putt on the way, and she makes it, Kate.
These two have found their groove on the putting green. It is a joy to watch, and Georgia Hall has a putt just about the same length now to have the hole.
Third shot for Michelle Wee, playing against Moria Jatanagan. She's 1 down.
Don't stand. Good swing.
Short.
I mean, just a little bit. I got up there.
How good is the golf in the last few moments here at the UL International Crown? Well, looking at the projections, those 2 key matches for England between Hull and Shadoff could prove decisive. It is very close to call between Korea and England in the final stages, the UL International Crown. Long putt for Lexi at the 11th, and that needs to settle down.
Ooh, she caught all of that, didn't she?
Found the sweet spot. Seonu with a better line in.
Still an uphill putt, climbing a subtle, steady tier. That's going to move it right halfway there. And she knows in the back of her mind, too, that Lexi's got a pretty devilish little 8-footer coming back.
So work to do for Lexi. 8-footer to hole for the half to remain 2 up. Up ahead on 17, Lindberg. 2 huge putts on the 16th to keep this match all square.
The hole is on the right side of the green, and it is open for the players to attack.
Kerr won't go down without a fight.
Never gives up. That's a 9-iron. Hoping that wind would push it down a little bit.
Seonu in for a 4. Now this important putt for the half for Thompson to remain 2 up.
And she'll be kicking herself if this one doesn't drop. The last thing you want to do in match play is essentially gift your opponent a hole.
That's got to hurt. Hate to give the opposition a hole with a 3-putt. Oh, terrific shot in from Pernilla Lindberg. In close with a very good chance of a birdie. And now Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff is wondering exactly what club to hit. Now, she won't be aware of those scores, Karen, but England have the edge as it stands right now by 1 point over Korea. But this match is going to be so close.
And when you're standing over this tee shot, she has to assume that there is room between Pernilla's ball and the flag for her to squeeze hers into, and she's done a very nice job of backing up Pernilla's very good approach shot.
Once again, down to a putt-off. It is tantalizingly close. The prospect of what could unfold here in Korea over the next couple of hours. Matches so close to call. Hall and Law up ahead for England. If it stays that way, England are projected to win the UL International Crown. But hey, who knows what could happen in Korea. Bronte Law for par, but IK Kim is relatively close for birdie. Bronte Law slapping the putter, irritated to give potentially a hole away. So we welcome Pete Donegan back into the commentary box, Pete. And that match, that hole has been conceded. Now that match goes to all square, which has put our UL International Crown calculator into overdrive. The scores, projected scores, changing. Korea out ahead.
Has Alfred Hitchcock got a hand in this, Kate? This is remarkable. It's just so many twists to the plot. Pernilla Lindberg now with an opportunity to win the hole in a vital match.
She knows what's at stake.
So this match stays all square as they go to the 18th. How important is the extra point for Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff? Here is her countrywoman, Charlie Hull, at the 18th. Pornanong Patlam's already played. At the moment, Charlie 1 up as they come up 18, and in the match behind, her compatriot all square coming up 18. Those two may very well decide whether England can win the crown, and so might this with Georgia Hall.
Haven't seen that too often today where they both missed birdie putts. Christy left her short in the jaw. And this one not going to be conceded, this little comebacker. Christy standing close by looking at it, wants to see it.
It's amazing how putts of this length as the day goes on are not conceded quite as easily as they were earlier in the day.
Christy's in for par.
Georgia stays one up.
Jessica Corder's having a very good day on the golf course. She's currently 3 up against Madeline Sagstrom. And has a chance to extend that lead and win this hole on 14. That would mean she is dormy up.
Jess certainly doing her job as we welcome Ali Whittick into the commentary box. And Ali, it's, I guess, up to Michelle and Christy a bit now for the States.
Well, that's it. As we watch Jess try to knock this one in. Does a full glory lap too. So 4 up. She's dormy. She's guaranteed a point for the USA. But really, when you look at the US side, Michelle Wheat, she's done pretty well to hang in there today. That match really could have got away from her early on. Just 1 down to Morigi Tanagan as we speak.
Of course, the other big match is the last match out on the course where Lexi Thompson is 1 up on So Yeon Yu. Jerry Foltz is watching on.
And it's starting to shape up like it could potentially all come down to just this match. 113 for So Yeon Yu. Lexi a little closer also in the fairway. Little backstop behind this hole.
Have about 300 people continually blowing that ball back towards the hole. They're so keen. As we see IK Kim on 13. On that front right section, very accessible. Needs a kick, and she gets it. We thought that was going to be a close match. Their stats almost identical, so it was really up for grabs between those two today.
Pornanong Patlam's 3rd shot at the final hole. What she does here will have an enormous impact on whether England is able to win the crown or not, because Pornanong is 1 down, so she may very well be able to wrest a point from England right at the death. She was perhaps waiting for that to check up on the second bounce, and it just scooted on through. Still doable.
So a response needed from Bronte Law. In Kyung Kim with a very makeable birdie putt to come. This match in a deadlock.
Advantage Korea. Did you see there IK just looking over and seeing what was going on at the green behind her? There's so much going on, so much of tremendous importance, including this shot. Charlie Hull at the final hole. It was a difficult lie, and she made a pretty good fist of that. Birdie putts coming for both Charlie and Pornanong, and Charlie has the advantage at the moment. England has tippy-toed their way up to get into a position where they can win it. So can Korea, so can the United States. There's a lot to unfold in the next hour or two. Pornanong Patlam has missed her birdie putt at the 18th. So Charlie Hull has 2 putts from this distance to earn both points. And in the scheme of things, England's aspirations of lifting the UL International crown have taken quite a boost. Bit of a groan from the crowd, but it doesn't matter. Charlie Hull wins the match 1 up. England earns their first 2 points. It takes them to a position where they are 1 back from Korea, but there are so many tight matches out there on the course that things are going to change and change and change again in the next hour and a half.
Bronte Law has this putt for a birdie. She's all square against IK Kim, but Kim also has a birdie opportunity. This putt breaking a little bit left to right, and more so than Bronte Law thought. So over to you, IK. It's going to come down to the wire.
Let's go to Sung Hyun Park, the world number 1 at 15.
Slow putt up the hill.
A real chance now for IK Kim.
And if it goes in, Ali, that's an additional point to Korea. As it stands live on the course. Gives them maybe that little bit of breathing space over England.
She's never been up in this match either, In Kyung Kim. She's as many as 2 down. This for a chance to put the Korean flag next to this match, at least after this 1 hole.
She's making her caddy, Axel Bettin, work very hard. They are scrutinising the read on this.
And given the implications of this extra point that they could gain, you can understand why.
Tiddler of a birdie putt, but it's to win the hole against the world number 1. And that means Thailand stand on the 16th hole 1 up with just 3 to play. And now have a look at those projected scores. Korea have it by 2 over England and the United States.
It's changing by the hole.
Blink of an eye. Get one back to avenge for that irritating 3 putt on the previous hole. Now Thompson 2 up over So-yeon Yu. Oh, projected scores have Korea in the driving seat, leading by 2 points over England and USA. But matches are out on course with just a hole in it. It can all change. Stay with us at the UL International Crown.
17th hole, Maria Jutanugarn. This to close out Michelle Wie. Clutch. So the player from Thailand wins it 2-1. Unfortunately for her team, they have already been eliminated. They do not have a chance of winning the crown, having gained just 1 point in their first 2 matches of the day, and they had to win them all. coming in here as the wild card team. Final hole. Jody Ewart-Shadoff.
Playing with your heart in your mouth, and that was a good example of it. Now major champion, Pernilla Lindberg.
Well, I think her plans just changed as well, and that's it. The arrow keeps switching between these two teams. Maybe a little bit more conservative now with this approach.
And they have no chance of figuring in the calculations for the crown, but I can tell you that there would be a lot of people wearing the Korean colours and a lot of people wearing the United States colours who will be keeping a close eye on this as well. Third shot, final hole, all square. Join Jerry Foltz watching Lexi Thompson at the 13th.
A little 7-foot uphiller for birdie to win the hole. So Yeon Yu had a very similar length putt and just narrowly missed the edge. Has to go 3 up.
Bit of tension in that putt, and you can understand why.
Good opportunity for Jessica Korda to secure the first points in the afternoon for the US side. 2 putts to win the match. She'll take them, and that will be conceded. And so an emphatic win over Madeline Sagström. Korda had the advantage the whole way. And the first 2 points of the afternoon for the US side at the hands of Jessica Korda.
Yeah, I really do believe Sung Hoon Park's starting to feel the pressure from this partisan crowd. Going 1 down. It looks like it's coming up short.
Time and time again, she's mentioned how aware she is of the crowd, how aware she is of pressure. When she got to world #1, it shook her. It took her a while to get used to it. Needs to settle down now.
And what often happens is once she starts that fight with herself, it takes a little while to come out the other side. Jody Ewart-Shadoff with her 4th shot.
How costly that shot, well, the previous shot really, could be in the big scheme of things. Lindberg in close with a good look at birdie. This match is all square. And now Shadoff, her 5th shot on the 18th.
Well, this needs to go in, this next one. Otherwise, Pernilla Lindberg's going to have 2 putts to take the match.
It's not exaggerating to say that the fate of England in this UL International Crown may very well depend on this shot right now and the couple that have gone before it, of course.
I think we're looking right now at the mental anguish of Jody Ewart-Shadoff. Trying to talk to herself, get herself ready for this shot. Putter.
Six at best. Pernilla's got a birdie putt coming, and we'll join that in a moment. Let's go back to Dom watching area.
Yeah. The mood has certainly changed in this group. You just can feel it with the crowd. They're looking a little left for you.
Well, 2 putts for the win. So perfunctory, you would think, pretty straightforward. Lag it, and that's the job done. Stranger things can happen in golf.
Just like that, right at the last minute, Pernilla Lindberg comes from nowhere and snatches the 2 points away from Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff, who can only wonder about what might have been. And look at that now. The United States moves past England in the projected scores. That is disastrous for England.
Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff had the lead every step of the way, and that's got to feel like a punch right in the solar plexus. That has well cost England their chances of winning this UL International crown.
And perhaps this young woman, the #1 player in the world, is starting to feel as though someone's delivered a punch in the solar plexus. Dom Boulay, our on-course commentator out there, saying that he feels as though the match has turned. Let's go to the putting action at 14. Worked the angles nicely.
I looked for a second like she put the wrong postcode in the GPS, but it turned out beautifully.
She's a clever player. You've got to be able to work the angles if you're going to win a British Open championship. Christie then is going to need to come up with something special. A couple more feet and that might have been very good. Now it just sits up on the ledge. Georgia Hall staring at the opportunity of going 2 up with 4 to play.
You know, guys, Sun Hyun Park, she had such a golden opportunity on the 14th to go 1 up, but she 3-putted, missing a tiny second putt, and ever since then her body language has changed completely. But she's got an opportunity here to draw level, but it's not an easy chip. Depending on where she lands it, if she lands it a little bit, sort of just 3 or 4 feet on the green, it will kick left. She needs to clear that first 3-4 feet, and then it will land pretty straight, and if it's online, it's got a chance.
Oh, that's not stone dead by any means. We saw a change in her body language between Friday morning and Friday afternoon. We're seeing another one, but it's going in the wrong direction if you're Korean. To 14.
Good look at birdie for Christie Kerr, but Georgia Hall is in close, and Georgia might well get a bit of a read off this putt too. Kerr 1 down. British Open champion from Royal Lytham has this chance to move 2 up with 4 to play.
And back for that putt shortly. In-ji Chun is getting the job done for South Korea. This is her 3rd shot to the par 5 15th. 2 up in her match. Could have done with 1 more.
So a chance now for Georgia Hall to go 2 up with 4 to play over Christy Kerr. You have to think maybe the addition, the sum of 2 Women's British Amateur Championships, Lauren Taylor on the bag for Georgia Hall. She won it in 2011. But maybe the sum of both of them might just be enough to take down the might of Christy Kerr.
And if she does get that 2-hole buffer rally, the pressure then goes on to the broad shoulders of Bronte Law. It will be the last remaining hope for England.
I think she'd love that pressure. But this putt is crucial.
This to go 2 up, 4 to play. It hasn't cemented the victory, but it's made it more likely. Massive putt coming for the world number 1. How things can change in this wonderful game. She looked completely in command of everything that she was doing an hour ago, and now she's hanging on by her fingernails.
Kim at 14.
Safety first.
Well, you've got to think that Bronte Law is going to go with the 3-wood and have a crack at the green.
She's only got 2 speeds, hasn't she, Kate? Stop and flat out.
Taking the driver, so we know exactly where she intends to land this ball.
There's no harm in Bronte doing this. She has a killer short game. She's known on tour for some incredible shots around the greens. If she can get it down there, she's got a great chance of making birdie.
And maybe eagle. Wow. Ooh, roll down. Because that is one tough bunker shot, and she knows it.
Just looked like it didn't quite get to the flat of the bunker. 4th shot for Ingie at the 15th. Pretty comfortable in her match against Anna Nordqvist. And that should be good enough for a par. Ingie 2 up. England look at what they have been able to do so far today, but that 18th hole for Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff might come back to bite them.
Big putt here for Anna Nordqvist. This to win the hole against Ingie Chun and cut that lead to just 1 hole. And Korea leads in 2 matches, but only by 1 hole. So the overwhelming favorites are far from securing the crown at this stage of the game. Back at 14, In Kyung Kim had laid up. Bronte Law, you may recall, hit her tee shot on this drivable par 4 into the greenside bunker. Kim 1 up. Advantage Korea.
She has come up with some amazing responses this week.
Amazing how quiet this massive crowd has all of a sudden gone. You can hear a pin drop. ...174 yards, wind off the right, helping slightly. She's got to go for it. Got no choice. Start it on the right edge of the green.
Well, this is one tough shot for Bronte Law. Kim is in close. Must have been a stone in that bunker, because that's about the only thing you can remove from a bunker.
Left that in, and instead she has come up with a superb shot.
That was sensational. Wow, that was hard. Downslope of the bunker, a fair bit of bunker to cross to a green that was sloping away from you. Water on the other side, none of that phases her. She says her dad is her mental coach, and he's read more books on psychology than anybody else she knows. Well, he's played a hand in this and her mental fortitude.
She might almost be writing her own mental golf book by the end of her career.
England has picked up 2 points in the pocket already, courtesy of the victory of Charlie Hull. When it looked like they may get 2 points from Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff, they instead got none. So what Bronte is able to do is just so critical, so important for the team. Georgia Hall is up in her match, so she's doing what she needs to do. But somehow, over the next 4 holes after this, Bronte has to be able to manufacture something, and here is her countrywoman 1 hole ahead.
Charlie Hall with her, I'm sorry, Georgia Hall with her second. Christy Kerr has laid up safely, and that was a huge mistake.
Oh.
So much room to the right, and she didn't even need to hit wood. She can't get there in 2.
Collaboration from Georgia Hall.
Bronte, of course, absolutely unaware of all of that, but she's got enough things on her plate at the moment to worry about, rather than concerning herself with anybody else, even her teammates. So she's staring down the barrel of going 2 down with 4 to play. That is not going to help the chances of England in their bid to lift the crown. As they stalk every angle, we'll go back to 14 shortly. Meantime, Anna Nordqvist is on the surge. She's got the margin between herself and Inji Chun back to 1. Inji has already played. Here's Anna with her second. Inji short of the green in 2.
Some comeback by Anna Nordqvist. Birdie to win the hole and go 2 up.
Nerves of steel from IK Kim. Not an unassailable position, but a position that might help her nation to just put one hand on the trophy. To 17.
You feel this is a must make if she's going to have any chance at all. It's got good pace on it.
Yeah, that's a 9-iron, 112 playing uphill in the wind, and she's pulled it.
Two putts to win the match for Area. And that will be good enough. How did this one turn around? Thailand takes the points. But the implications are what has happened to Sunghyun Park here in Korea's quest for the trophy. It can all change just like that. The world #2 overcomes the world #1.
She was never up until the 15th hole today.
Lexi Thompson on 14.
3-wood, 258 to the hole, right at 230 to the front edge. That is high, that is solid, and that's on a good line.
Good right at it, but she is fired up, Thompson. That's gone through the back. Now you.
So young with driver. This too, if hit on that line, hit as well as that, will likely run past the green. But there's just no margin for error.
This becomes pretty critical too. Inji perhaps just feeling the pressure of the situation. And is still going to have around 8 feet to make her par, and a Nordqvist up the back of the green in 2 with momentum on her side. Remember when we saw the wildcard playoff earlier, we said that everything would have to go right for Thailand, and they have managed to manufacture 7 of a possible 8 points. So they've done their job. They probably came from too far back as it was. A huge momentum swing in this match between Inji Chun and Anna Nordqvist. Anna Nordqvist has eased her putt down to range where it has been conceded. So Inji now needs this putt to fall to stop this match going back to all square. Thailand having completed all of their matches, picking up 5 of a possible 8 points. When we talk about the result at the end of the day, we might talk about that putt. And the look on her face tells you that she knows the importance of it as well. Sunghyun's work is done. She's out there to support her teammate.
She's got a Songdo swagger going on there. Thompson, 14, second shot from behind the green.
Just a little nest of wiry rough, and that was a tough, tough lie to try and hit a modified lob shot.
It's a putt to win the hole for Christy Kerr, but not that easy.
No, it's very difficult, and it slopes away. Oh, goodness, she was guarding against that slope away after the hole.
Okay.
And she has a lot left for par.
So-yeon, second at 14.
Uphill lie, and I think she can get to the back of the ball pretty cleanly. Much easier shot than Lexi's. Still a tough pitch. And the upslope, then downhill to there.
They're looking good on the projections. IK's got a bit of breathing space. NG hasn't got as much breathing space, but she is still in front. So Christie now faced with about maybe 4 feet K to halve the hole.
Yes, and how things, the personality, the emotions, the feelings, just within one single hole fluctuate back and forth. I mean, 5-10 minutes ago, Christie had to be thinking she had a good chance of winning this hole. Now she faces this putt just to have the hole and stay 2 down. If she misses this, she goes 3 down.
Michelle and Jess joining the other thousands of supporters out on the golf course. Third for Lexi at the 14th.
Might in her head think she needs to make it with So-yeon just about 4, maybe 5 feet away. She'll be putting first for par before So-yeon putts for birdie.
It's a horrible lie. Went from one to the next.
Yeah, that was not easy for Lexi.
Now, Don Boulay has made his way after watching Sung-hyun Park in action, and what we are seeing here, Dom, is a match where the momentum has also changed.
Yeah, it appears so. Anna Norquist, it's so exciting. In fact, there are quite a lot of Swedish supporters on this tee, and there's a large flag of Sweden on the back of this back tee here on 17. So lots of excitement here, and well, In-ji Chung, we know she's got a great following, so just really pulsating stuff here.
Nordquist 4 down after 10, back to 1 down with 2 to play. Sung-hyun Park had that exact same putt a little while ago.
Lexi for par.
Must make. So-yeon Yu still 5 feet away for birdie. Little downhill, turning slightly left.
Oh, she's in between clubs by the looks of it, 175 yards. Wind just picked up a little bit. It's predominantly from the right, but helping just a touch. And you can see Norquist she's in a similar position that Sung-hyun Park was in earlier. Well, she's a little bit closer. She's probably 30 feet underneath the hole. So an outside opportunity for a birdie 2. What a lovely swing this young lady has, just so rhythmical. You just wonder, how aware is she of the situation?
Well, that's a long way away. The momentum's firmly with Anna Norquist. That match, there is a huge amount that hinges on that match if Anna was to pull ahead.
There was a bit on that putt too. So-yeon Yu wins the hole, cuts Lexi Thompson's margin back to 1 with 4 holes to play. So there are the 5 matches that have been decided by a margin. One match all square, 4 matches on the golf course, and the battle looks like going right down to the wire in the UL International Crown. We've had so many entertaining moments this week at the UL International Crown. This brought to you by Paradise City, where the players have been staying treated regally and then making their way out to the golf course in front of the adoring fans, many of whom have crowns on. Will they be joined by their players in the next hour or so? The crown is about to be decided. Entertaining moments brought to you by Paradise City. And there are some entertaining moments to come, both from long range, admittedly, here at 17. Both players a long, long way away after their tee shots. While they have a look at it, we will head back to Georgia Hall at 16 with her second.
Both players hit good drives. Georgia first to hit from 144. Christie just a couple paces ahead. Bringing that in right to left. We can't tell where that ended up out here in the fairway, guys.
Just on the fringe, Kay.
She hit it well, and I think she liked it.
Line was perfect.
Interesting thing just happened here. The two players, their putts are identical in length. Missy Jones, the match referee, she paced it out and she couldn't determine who was further away, so she flipped a coin and she said, if it's heads, In-Ji Chung, you putt first. And it was heads, so here she is, putting first.
Well, the result of the entire day, the competition might in the end come down to a bit of a coin toss of sorts.
This putt's going to want to move left to right to start, and then it's going to come back the other way near the hole.
That's brilliant. That's what she had to do. Being one up, just had to make sure it was stone dead. Anna is still in 3-putt territory, and we'll come back to that at 17 in a tick.
This putt for par for In Kyung Kim, given Bronte Laws in closer with a birdie putt, you'd think this would have to drop. So what that means is Bronte Law has 2 putts now to win the hole.
I think IK said that'll do. Margin goes back to 1.
Well, what's the thinking here? Give it a run to try and square the match, or make sure you sort of roll it up stone dead and go up 18 and try and secure a point that way?
Personally, I'd like my chances more of making birdie on 18 than trying to hold this putt, I think. Kind of have to hedge your bet on this one. Lag it close. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
It's good pace. Just coming up short.
She'll look across at In-Ji and say, what do you think? And In-Ji said, yep. So they'll go up the last. So what that means is that In-Ji has a point. Definitely. She's looking for 2. She's had to grit her teeth to get it home. Let's go to Kay Cockrell to bring us up to date with what's going on with the tension at 16.
Even though Georgia's off the putting surface, she has a shorter, easier putt for birdie. She'll have inside 20 feet, whereas Christie pulled her iron shot a little bit, gave it that extra distance, and she's back in the middle of the green with a lengthy putt, this close to 50 feet. I'd say 45 feet at least. Uphill, left to right, and it's just going to be really difficult to make this. I think you're sort of in your mind, you're thinking, I got to make birdies because Georgia, we're both playing so well, but she can't afford to be too frisky with this. She's got to really zero in and just trying to make the easiest par she can, force Georgia to do something exceptional from off the fringe. And that's the danger right there. Now you're giving your opponent a potentially easy win. And you're putting a lot of stress on yourself. And Christy can't lose this hole or it's over.
Yep.
I am really impressed with Georgia Hall. You know, she just has the entire package, and I know we saw that while we watched her win the Women's British Open, but she is a touch of class. I mean, just by virtue of that amazing par she made on the last hole, wedging it up there after hitting it in the hazard. She easily forgets mistakes and on to the next hole. Doesn't dwell on anything for too long, good or bad. This putt, inside 20 feet, as I said, a little right to left movement and not much speed to worry about. This to win the match.
She may still win the match.
And that's the enviable position to be in, to really essentially have two opportunities to win the hole and win the match. Either if Georgia had sunk that herself, or now Christy with all the pressure to make this putt.
And if this putt doesn't go in, what it means is that from the first 3 matches out on course, the United States will have garnered only 2 points. And they needed to get more than that if they were going to win.
She is so good at those pressure putts, isn't she?
Nobody better. And there hasn't been for a long time. So our last match, and the drama continues. Lexi Thompson 1 up. We're at the 15th. This is 3rd shot.
So-Yeon Ryu from 70 yards. Lexi already played her 3rd and did not hit a good wedge shot. So-Yeon in the driver's seat here.
Seems as though Korea is edging closer to victory, but there's still a bit more to be played out here. We have 4 matches still out there on the golf course under beautiful blue skies. What a battle it's been in the final day of the UL International Crown. Tom Abbott will rejoin you on the other side of the break to bring this home.
All right, Lexi, long putt for birdie here. Her lead down to just 1 up over So-Yeon Ryu, who has a look for birdie inside of Lexi. So you would think that par would be conceded.
It's got 9 in the hand, so not going for the green, not even thinking about it. A little surprising, and she's laid up well back too.
Just give you an idea of how close it is and all of the calculations. The most points the USA can get now is 13, and the most points England can get is 13. Of course, Korea still have 6 points up for grabs on the golf course, so they could get to 16 points. And now this is So-Yeon Ryu for a birdie to win the hole, Jerry.
and to square the match. Didn't see that coming just a few holes ago, but it is match play and crazy things happen. And if So Young can turn this match in Korea's favor, NIK can hang on ahead. They cannot be beat.
Of course, the projected standings will change here if this goes in.
That was good. It was a good putt. Just wobbled left at the last minute.
So if Korea can get to 14 points, they will win the crown the way it stands at the moment. We'll go out to the 18th hole, and if In-ji Chun wins this match for Korea, they will go to 12 points, and they will need just 2 more points to secure the crown. So whilst they wait at the 18th, we will go to the 17th, Georgia Hall. Dormy in the match.
This is a really hard hole location to get close to. Wind blowing, helping right to left, hole all the way back right. And she struck this well. That was the smart play to just be hole high left.
Now, Christy Kerr.
Christy has to win the hole, so somehow she's got to try to figure out either get it tighter or make a long putt.
Well, she thought about getting it closer. Look at this from Kerr. Fantastic goal. To the 16th, second shot for Bronte Law. IK Kim has already played and missed the green.
Go.
That's a pretty good shot there from Bronte, so she'll have a putt for a birdie. And we'll go back to the 18th. Don Boulay is there with In-ji Chun's third shot.
She's got 126 yards and the wind is helping, and a little off the left. It's a hidden pin.
Pretty good right there. How bold is that, Karen, to take on the water?
That's definitely very bold. But I think that's... She's been playing so well. I mean, her ball striking's been good. But under these circumstances, with this pressure, that was so impressive.
Well, when you've won a couple of majors, I guess you can handle the pressure. That was an impressive shot to take on that pin. Well, the pressure's on her. Anna Nordquist, I don't think she can see how close In-ji is. The green sits well above them, but that reaction from the crowd, she's got a pretty good idea. She's not very far away. She's got 92 yards. And I'm actually quite surprised she didn't maybe try and play a 3-wood or a 5-wood, whatever, down the left side closer to this green, and then she's got an open chip. She doesn't have to come over the bunker. But this is what she's left herself.
I really believe, Dom, that Anna feels like she can get her wedges probably as close as she could hit a chip. She's very good with her distance control, good with her wedges, and she is a master tactician.
Yeah, cameraman behind the green, just moving in her eyesight there, just backing off. A lot of tension out here. You're right, Karen.
IK Kim, third shot at 16.
Bronte Law has a birdie putt as well. Bronte was almost going to have to make it for the half.
Wow. And now Georgia Hall for a birdie to win the match.
Hard to find two better shots played, I imagine, on this hole today. Thought Georgia's was fantastic and Christie one-upped her, but Georgia can end it all right here.
And she did. And that is a fantastic performance by Georgia Hall. It moves England to 11 points overall and means that the USA, the most they could get is 12 points now, and Korea's victory is looking a lot closer. I think we might see a repeat of that in some Solheims to come over the next couple of years. We don't know how many more that Christie's going to play. Out at the 16th, Bronte Law to win the hole. To the 18th, Dom.
Yeah, both players have circled their putts, looking at it from all angles. Yeah, this is to win the match, and it's really a putt you'd love to have to win a match. You know, it's uphill. It's right half, I would say, if you hit it firmly.
Will have a putt for a birdie to square the match. Anna Norquist with this putt to halve the match.
It's actually, although it's a lot shorter, it's probably a tougher putt in a way than In-Ji Chung's, because it's a bit slippery, this one, slightly downhill. And, you know, if you don't start it on the correct line, it should fall left. So it's so important just to put a good stroke on it, get it started on the right line. So much on this putt, potentially.
And this keeps the US chances alive if it goes in. Great battle between In-Ji Chung and Anna Norquist. Projected scores there, and the most the US can do is 12 points. Korea now have 12 points. Bronte Law on the tee at 17.
Oh, she launched that one high, trying to draw it in. Not sure if the wind caught it and brought it down or not.
Just over the back of the green, Kay. Just riding that wind.
Lexi Thompson at the 16th, second shot.
Not looking good here. Probably top 2 or 3 worst lies I have seen all week long. Well below her feet, just gnarly, gnarly rough. And the top half of the ball is caked in mud. 133 yards. So Yeon-yu in good shape. That's just a gouge and pray if that came out left.
Yeah, we're not letting her outside the ropes. Where she's going back up 18 to CIK.
Thank you very much.
75 with the
Back to the 17th, and IK Kim.
She's pulled out the hybrid, and this wind is helping quite a bit and blowing slightly right to left. This should be plenty of club. Going towards the center of the green.
Pretty smart play there.
So Yeon-yu second at the 16th.
132 to the hole. Uphill lie, breeze in and from the right. 9 iron. A little left of the hole. Good shot.
It's coming down to the wire here, and it looks like it's going to be the Republic of Korea, but it's not over just yet. What drama on the final day here in Incheon, South Korea.
Here in Korea, it's all but official. Comes right down to this. Bronte Law 1 down as they play this 17th hole to IK Kim. If IK Kim can secure a half, it's over.
Because as we all know that all you have to do is 2-putt to win a tournament or to win a match or to get anything done is one of the hardest things to do. And I'm sure both of these players know the seriousness of this match, but may not know specifically just the numbers and how they're crunching out right now.
So IK Kim has 2 putts to win the crown for Korea. Now that would guarantee Korea 13 points, and the most that any other country could do would be 12. The USA have 10. Lexi wins, that gives them 12 points, and of course the most that England could do from this match will be 1 point. IK would be Dormy, that would take England to 12. So this is what it all comes down to right now.
And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of tension in the air, and IK was doing a lot of deep breathing coming up to this green. Her only focus right now is 2-putting, somehow getting this putt up to gimme range. She didn't read it particularly well, but that was excellent speed.
And has that putt been conceded, Kay?
No, it has not.
Okay, the drama continues.
Excuse me, yes, it has.
It has been conceded,
yes.
And the crown will stay in South Korea.
I don't think anyone on the screen quite realizes that yet.
IK Kim 1 up, heading to the 18th, and the Republic of Korea will win the UL International crown for the first time. Spain and the United States of America, the previous 2 winners. And the Republic of Korea finally getting their hands on the crown. Now, it won't be official until we can finish this match, but we are going to be watching a victory celebration here at the 18th.
Well, it's taken them a couple of tries of being favourites, not being able to get the job done, and then they come here to their home in South Korea in front of their home crowd and their fans, with the immense pressure that goes with that, and they will be the champions.
I haven't detected any sense of celebration, and Karen, you know how it is when you're in the throes of a very intense match. You have a general sense of how you're doing, of course, whether you're up or down in the match, but how it all means in a team event like that. In the scheme of things, you just can't possibly let your mind go there.
Bring in Jerry Foltz, who's out watching Lexi Thompson, So-Yeon Yu for the mood out there in his match.
They don't know yet. I just informed So-Yeon's caddy, Mike Patterson, that Korea is officially the winner. He's like, I don't think I should tell her yet. Sung-Hyun Park, who's on the tee box here with So-Yeon Yu. I got to tell her as well, which was a nice feeling. She was ear to ear smiling for a young lady who rarely breaks expression. So the players and the captains, I don't think it's settled in or word's gotten back to them yet, although I see a lot of people looking at their phones and figuring things out.
And I think as a player, you keep playing and you play hard until the very end always.
Well, in So-Yeon's mind right now, the whole thing could be coming down to this match. 175-yard shot, now squared the match. Good looking shot.
It really is a dream scenario, isn't it? The home team winning the crown, and especially when it is the Republic of Korea, the nation that loves women's golf. They absolutely adore these players.
Well, and when you think about the extreme pressure that they're all under, they all seem to manage to overcome all of that in much the same way as Inbee Park overcame the pressure at the Olympics when they really didn't want her to play, they wanted somebody else, but yet Inbee Park took home the Olympic gold. These 4 players are taking home 4 crowns.
And I think there'll be a pretty good celebration here tonight at the Jack Nicklaus Golf Club. The final 2 matches play out over the last 2 holes here in Songdo.
Did you have a good week?
Yeah, did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you playing next week?
Yeah. So I'm going to home tonight.
Yeah. Where's home? So
Hi, Kay Kim, who's been through some trials and tribulations in her career over the years. You remember what happened at the A&A Inspiration, and then, of course, fighting back and winning a major championship at the Rico Women's British.
I really want to this year too, but
And now she's part of this winning team.
hopefully she have enjoyed.
where's some shopping?
Shopping? Do you like more street market or
No, like
yeah, I have no idea.
I don't think anybody
If
over
anyone would
in the
see.
crowd saw it splash.
Well, okay, yes, it's about 2:30 off the tee, so.
Which is where it would be.
So-Yeon Yu strolling down the 17th, the par 3. She's all square now in her match with Lexi Thompson.
How is any way to get around though?
Right, yeah.
밑으로 웃어주세요. 밑으로 화이팅.
Taking a look at the Rolex World Rankings as of the 2nd of July, the qualification cut-off for the teams. And this was the top 4 players committed to play in the UL International Crown for Korea. Tough team to beat, Karen.
Well, they were, and you could have gone through any number of players that could have slotted into this team, and they would have been all tough to beat. The fact that they were able to perform on this stage in front of the home crowd is a very special feeling for them.
No, it would be over there.
There's Kay Cockrell with Inji Chun. Just informing her of the good news, I'm sure.
That's okay. Did it splash? Yeah.
Okay.
Many of the players from Korea who play on the LPGA Tour live in the Seoul area, from Seoul. And so this will feel like home. This will feel like a place that they maybe had a little extra pressure on their shoulders. But even if they are based in the US like So-Yeon Ryu, it's very special to come home and to be able to pull off this victory in an event where they knew they were going to be scrutinized. They said it earlier in the week. They said, we hope the fans treat us well, that we don't get criticized too much, which can happen here. There's so much expectation on these players' shoulders.
Very much so. And I think now that these 4 players can look forward to next week's event at Sky 72 for the KB Hannah Bank Classic. And I think that they will thoroughly enjoy having the heroes welcome. And I'm pretty sure that the crowd will give them that.
Yeah, they'll have some celebrations next week, there's no doubt about it, as the LPGA Tour returns to stroke play competition. So So-Yeon Ryu now, Jerry, for this at the 17th.
Yes, and her caddy has not told her that they have won. The fans are starting to figure it out. The cheers are getting much louder, but this uphill putt. So Lexi still has a birdie putt upcoming.
Park cheering on her teammate. The victory isn't official until the match is finished with IK Kim and Bronte Law, because we could have a slow play penalty or some bizarre ruling on the 18th. But for all intents and purposes, it is a win for Korea, but it doesn't go into the record books just yet. Now Lexi.
This putt uphill 4/5 of the way, and then it just hits a little crest short of the hole and goes back downhill. The breeze blowing very strongly now from the left and into this putt. Makes it feel even slower. Good stroke, but just killed it going up the hill.
This week, I think, will do Lexi a great deal of good. And she struggled this year, not necessarily on the golf course, but away from the course.
Well, and I think sometimes she ought to just hang out with Christy Kerr just a little bit more, because it seems to me that every time she gets paired with Christy Kerr in a team event, that confidence that she gains from her seems to carry through into other tournaments too. Like, she'll play well afterwards as well. And I think it's just, watching how Christy is around the golf course, being able to see how confident she is within herself reminds Lexi of what she could actually be within her own self as well.
Yeah. IK Kim second on the way at the 18th. So if you're just joining us, the Republic of Korea winning the 2018 UL International Crown. It isn't absolutely official until this match is over, the IK Kim Bronte Law match, but no other team can catch Korea with the points they are guaranteed from
I heard
this match.
Soyeon made a win. Yes, and she's still going.
She's still going? Oh, because she's dormant.
Yeah.
Why then? She's one to play?
If she's going to square this no matter what, that's enough points to win.
And she's going to square?
Well, if she loses, doesn't matter. We have enough points.
Really? Even if she loses?
It's the TV.
Word filtering through to the players out there, and back on the tee at the 18th, So Yeon-yu. So Yeon-yu saying earlier in the week that they don't have a lot of match play for amateur players in Korea. It's stroke play golf, and in the last two UL crowns they maybe didn't have the strategy, they didn't have the feeling of match play. This week it was different for Korea.
Yep, they kind of knew what they needed to get done, and they really embraced the fact that this was a home game for them. And I think it just goes to show you how, as we saw with the Ryder Cups these last few years too, Solheim Cups, how a home crowd and home advantage can really make a big difference.
Just disturbed by something on the tee there, Lexi.
As with all these team matches, even when the players know the result, there's still a great deal of pride in the matches and how they've been played. And I think this match between Lexi Thompson and So Yeon-yu has been played with tremendous skill and courage.
So Yeon-yu played in the most singles matches in the UL Crown, has the most single points won. And they are coming down the 18th hole, and the celebrations will begin soon. And IK Kim will make it official very soon when she finishes this hole. Jerry Foltz maybe with Christy Kerr.
Yeah, well, the final match waits in the fairway. Christy Kerr standing next to me. Christy, I know it didn't work out in the U.S.'s favor this time, but how proud are you of your team, and how nice is this site celebrating women's golf and the amount of people out here celebrating this event?
Wow, I mean, it's a fantastic golf course, and, you know, the fans got what they wanted today, a beautiful day of weather. Yeah, it wasn't in our favor this time, but we played with heart and soul, and Michelle was a little bit hurt, and she put up a good performance. So sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
You've played under a lot of pressure with a lot of expectations in your career. Can you relate to what the Korean players have been through this week?
Absolutely, and what really impressed me is that they looked like they enjoyed themselves, and they really embraced the fans, and they didn't put that extra pressure on themselves. I feel like that I thought that they would.
Good play, and congratulations on a successful week, but not ultimately successful, and we'll see you more down the road.
Got it.
It is official. Korea have won the UL International crown. They are the champions of the world in women's golf.
Well done.
Sanyeon Park, Inji Chan, Aike Kim, Soyeon Yu, winning the crown for the first time. Still one more match to go. The flag is out, and the celebrations can start to begin now.
Whoa. The depth of quality women golfers in Korea is quite astonishing. I look at these 4 players, and you could have had any number of players slot into this team and still had the same result.
Soyeon Yu getting ready to play her second shot at the 18th in this final match.
The interesting thing for me watching these 4 Koreans play is that you wouldn't immediately think, oh, they must be great match players, because they don't have the sort of the Bronte Law, the Ian Poulter, that fight and that kick that you see from a lot of players that excel in this format. But what they did do was they just played really excellent golf, and that's what it takes.
Soyeon Yu was asked at the Kia Classic in 2017 why players from her country have been so dominant. And she said, it's hard to say, but Korean players don't show much emotion on the golf course. They learn how to keep it really calm. We're trained like that, she said, and golf is a game of patience. And I think in my country, as she was saying, you learn how to handle your mind really well on the golf course, especially when you're in contention.
Yep.
And that's what we saw this week.
Absolutely. Lots of patience. And my key word is discipline. They're just disciplined players.
Soyeon, of course, made it to the top of the world ranking. She was disappointed not to win as the world #1. She was top of the world in 2017 for a period of time. I think that's something that she would like to do, to get back to world #1 and almost sort of validate that by winning. And you never know, these sort of weeks can motivate players to do great things.
Well, it will be a whole new feeling for these players to do this as part of the team. They can be proud in each other's achievements, proud in how they all performed under this pressure.
오늘 아침에 나 나가느라 힘들었거든, 소연이, 그치?
Tom and Karen, what a scene here on the 18th hole. The final match coming to the final hole. These thousands and thousands of people out here gathered around just the one hole. Doesn't often happen like that in international team competition, and what a great sight to see.
I think we're a little jealous that you're out there, Jerry, experiencing this atmosphere, and we're here in our commentary booth. But the pictures tell the story, but don't really give us a sense of the atmosphere. I'm sure it is just amazing.
There have been a few similar moments this year. Georgia Hall winning the Women's British Open. Brooke Henderson and the massive crowds in Canada when she won the CP Canadian Women's Open. But this dwarfs them all in terms of size and enthusiasm of crowd. I can't say enthusiasm, but certainly sheer size of crowd.
So this is Lexi's third shot. That's conceded. If Lexi wins this hole, it takes the US into second place. And it'll be a nice check for these players. And I think the caddies might be getting a nice bonus as well. So I think they'll be cheering on Lexi to try and get the win, get ahead of England. England are in second right now, but 2 points would take the USA above England. So Young Yu, a third. Oh, it's going to be a half. Wonderful shot. And this match will finish all square. And Korea will end the week with 15 points, equaling the total of Spain in 2014. The highest winning total at the UL International Crown.
Thank you. Good job, OK. Congratulations. Thank you, Jessica.
You deserve this. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Oh, thank you, Christine. Thank you. Good job. Good job. Thank you.
Trying to get him down there.
Okay, we're going to bring you guys down here.
You look back to their performance in the four balls for the third session, and that was where Korea really edged ahead, winning 4 points over England.
Yep, that was a big difference. Big difference. They also came out at the starting gates a little sluggish against Chinese Taipei as well, and if they had lost those two matches early on, it could have been a completely different story. But they dug deep and fought out some good wins. It's a very special bond that these four players will now share, being four players to win the crown in their home crowd.
Let's go down to Jerry.
All right, guys, it's a pretty nice feeling, I think. Team Korea draped in a very comfortable blanket, also the flag right there. So-Yeon, I'll start with you. The pressure you guys face this week in your home country as the favorites is something that other players say they can't really relate to. How was your team able to respond?
Well, we never really feel nervous or something before the major, but we just been nervous for like couple months to prepare this tournament, and we really actually worried about it because we really worried about how to dealing with this pressure. But turns out because this is home field, we felt more comfortable, and because so many fans came out to supporting us, I think we had a lot of benefit.
IK, you were essentially the clinching player today. Could you have scripted the storybook ending for Team Korea any better?
I don't know. I just wanted to have fun, and I want all of us to have fun today because there are so many fans out here came from practice round to support us, and I just had to tell myself focus every shot because I couldn't focus, but I really had a blast, and thanks for everyone to give us such a great match.
Can you interpret for me here and help Sun Hyun a little bit the pressure of playing in this versus a normal tournament?
부담감이 많이 컸을 것 같은데 얼마나 부담감이 더 컸는지.
저뿐만 아니라 저희 팀이 정말로 많은 부담감을 안고 이번 주에 경기에 임했을 거라고 생각을 하고요. 그 부담감을 이겨내고 이렇게 우승으로 잘하게 돼서 정말 기분이 좋습니다.
So I think not only myself but all my teammates felt a lot of pressure coming into this event. I'm just really happy that we overcame that kind of stress and we came out victorious.
And it was a huge smile when you realized you guys won on 17. And Ji-Chun, what do you have to say about your three teammates this week?
세 명의 팀원에 대해서 말씀을 해주신다면 이번 주.
I want to say love and thank you to them because without them I couldn't play very well this week. I was so nervous before start this week, but Soyeon and In-kyung and Sang-yeon helped me a lot, so I really appreciate it. Yeah.
And I'll end with one final one with you, Soyeon. It was billed as one of the biggest things we would see on the LPGA Tour, the crowds here. They certainly delivered today. What do you have to say about the support here in Korea?
Well, incredible. I'm so fortunate to be in Korean, I love to see all the Korean golf fans just love golf so much, and then without their support, we, cannot really have a nice tournament in here, so I'd like to thank them. I just cannot thank them enough, so hopefully someday we're going to come back here and then I will see them again.
Congratulations, you guys. Well done, and it was a great show. We enjoyed it.
Well, some 20 years ago, Se-ri Pak inspired a new generation of golf in Korea, and today, those 4 young Korean women can call themselves and their country champions as Korea wins the 3rd playing of the UL International Crown. Winning 7 out of 10 matches, a record of 7-2-1. They end up with a 4-point lead over the USA and England, who tied for 2nd. So, congratulations to Korea winning on home ground the UL International Crown.